Shraddha College and Executive Member in Nalgonda Economics Forum. Welcome to Nalgonda Economics Forum. In this video, we'll try to understand how consumer will reach its equilibrium position. Right? In the last class, we understood what is indifference curve, what is budget line. Right? With the help of these two tools, we'll try to understand how consumer will reach its equilibrium position. Right? Generally, consumer wants to get maximum satisfaction by expenditure what is limited income with respect to X and Y. So that is what consumer always wants to get maximum satisfaction, right? So before going to consumer equilibrium, consumer has to be follow some basic assumptions, which are consumer income always constant, and the consumer, the price of X good and Y good should be same or constant, or consumer wants to get maximum satisfaction, and in the market of two goods it should be perfect competition. So those are basic assumptions need to be followed. And coming to the consumer, to get equilibrium position, he has to be followed two major conditions, which are first one, at equilibrium stage, consumer get one condition, which is that budget line or price line should be tangent to IC curve, means indifference curve at any point, right? So that is what first condition need to be satisfied. And second condition is that marginal rate of substitution X per Y, which is equals to the price ratio. MRS X per Y, which is equals to the PX by PY. Right? The first condition is that budget line and price line should be tangent to the indifference curve. Right? And second condition is that MRS, marginal rate of substitution X per Y, it should be equals to the price ratio. Okay? MRS should be equals to the price ratio. That is what second condition. So let us understand in the deeper way with the help of graph. See here, we'll take this is x-axis, y-axis, and this will be y-axis. On x-axis, we'll take good X, right? On y-axis, we'll take good Y, right? So x-axis we have taken good X, and y-axis we have taken good Y. So first, we already assume first understanding with the help of indifference curve map and budget line. These two tools will help to get consumer equilibrium, right? The first is that indifference map. Right? This is IC1, IC2, IC3, IC4. So these are different indifference curves. So these are all curves we can call it as an indifference map, right? So, and this is the first one tool, and second tool is that budget line, right? See this, what do you mean by indifference curve? Indifference curve means each and every indifference curve will give different level of satisfaction, right? That is what IC1, IC2, IC3, IC4, right? So with the help of budget line, so we will try to get equilibrium point, right? See here, budget line. For example, consumer want to get satisfaction here. I see right? See, this is B, this is L, right? Budget line, right? So the point here we can name it as a T, okay, where consumer equilibrium point we can take it as a T, right? Here we can say yes or D or else anything, right? See, IC1, IC2, IC3, IC4. Okay, there are different indifference curve, different level of satisfaction we'll get, right? So IC1 is very less satisfaction than IC2. IC2 is very less satisfaction than IC3. IC3 is less satisfaction than IC4. Means IC4 is more satisfaction than IC3. IC3 is more satisfaction than IC2. IC2 is more satisfaction than IC1. So consumer always wants to get maximum satisfaction, right? Here budget line BL, right? This is the budget constraint. Consumer whatever is income on his income means at the point at any point of budget line at any fraction of consumption or expenditure which should be equal to the income of consumer, right? That is what budget, the price ratio of X, Y and X good, right? Whatever at any point of budget line, at any point of budget line, right? So consumer will his income should be whatever the expenditure with X and Y should be equal to the income, right? So if consumer try to consume or expenditure on beyond the budget line curve which is not equals to the whatever is income. If consumer want to expenditure below the budget line curve which is not equals to the income. If it is below, it will be surplus, right? If it is beyond the budget line curve, it will be scarcity, right? So at any point of on the budget line curve, the consumer income will be exhausted, right? His total income should be exhausted on the budget line curve. If it is not below the budget line curve, on beyond the budget line curve, it should be expenditure on the budget line curve with respect to X and Y. So here IC1, IC2, IC3, three indifference curve are there, right? See here we can name it as a M, right? OM of X good, OM of Y good. Consumer had purchased or consumed OM of X good and OM of Y good, right? This should be equilibrium point E. This is the first condition is satisfied and the second condition MRS is equal to the price of X and price of Y. So the portion of X good OM, the portion of on Y good OM, which is the two conditions were satisfied. Okay, see why consumer is not satisfied at the first IC1 at S and IC2 at D, because it is not giving more satisfaction. It will not give more satisfaction, right? If IC1 is more satisfaction than IC2, IC2 is more satisfaction, IC2 is very less satisfaction than IC3. These two IC curves will give less satisfaction than IC3. But consumer had whatever his constraint, budget expenditure on the budget line curve, whatever his income entire extent exhausted. But the point at E on the budget line curve, budget line tangent to the IC curve, here budget line, the IC curve, okay, the budget line is tangent to the IC3 at point IC3 E, which is consumer equilibrium point, right? So the MRS XY which is equals to price of X and price of, which is equals, okay, whatever the price ratio of X and Y good which is equals to the MRS. The MRS X per Y which is equals to the price ratio of X and Y. So those two conditions were satisfied. So at the point E is the consumer with maximum satisfaction, right? Consumer will get more satisfaction or maximum satisfaction at point E with his income. Whatever is income, he will get more satisfaction on at point E, right? So this is what consumer equilibrium, right? Why consumer will not get more satisfaction, means in the IC, why consumer is not able to choose IC4 because of his income, whatever this budget line which is only here, right? If he try to choose the IC4, his income is very less. Okay, his income is scarcity, means his income is not equal to the whatever his expenditure, right? So that is the reason why at point at consumer IC3 at point E, consumer will get more satisfaction with the respective MRS X equals price of X by price of Y. That is, two conditions are satisfied. So consumer at point E, maximum satisfaction he will be reached, right? That is what consumer equilibrium. Hope you are understood consumer equilibrium. Thanks for watching.